Blessed Friday to us. Sometimes, I would always have the impression, especially when I am teaching and taking this into perspective, whenever we talk about the sacrament of marriage and referring to the gospel reading today, I always have this, kinibang pagkakuti-kutihan lang yun ba? No, for the sake of expression and semantics. It's a good thing to introduce the gospel reading today and its teaching about marriage. But it's not appropriate, according to my own feeling and understanding, it is not appropriate to say that the gospel reading is about divorce. Nga naman, moingon ganitang about, that has something to do with the positive essence of it. And we are not teaching divorce, okay, unless otherwise there are certain special cases. That's according to the canonical perspective. But the proper way of introducing our gospel reading today is this. Our gospel reading today is about marriage and against divorce. Now, it doesn't make sense for me. It is about marriage and divorce. No? Kay, about gani, that is a very important preposition. Anyway, I'm just trying to make a little semantics in here. But in terms of the very teaching that Jesus is giving, it is not just all about marriage, practically. It is not just all about marriage, because there are also other perspectives or dimensions mentioned towards the end of the gospel. In fact, today's gospel reading takes marriage as a matrix in order to take a look into the many different ways of responding to the call to our vocations. Dili man tanang tao gitawag aron maminyo sumala sa giingon sa ebanghelyo. But there are also people who renounce marriage precisely because there is a particular calling to it. No? Og sa tinamban pang pagkasulti, kami di ay. No? Kami di ay, no? From the perspective of the priest. But what is the bottom line here is to act accordingly to God's faithfulness to us. To respond positively and in whatever manner the faithfulness that God has shown to His people and to us. That's why the responsorial psalm today, taken from the one of the few psalms that constantly repeat the line, "For His love endures forever," becomes a greater challenge for each and every one of us. We are responding in many different ways, in many different counts, in many different perspectives. But the bottom line here is to be always faithful and truthful to the vocation that we are responding to. Finally, whenever I talk about these matters, I always remember my spiritual director when I was in the theology seminary, the late Father Thomas Green. He always has a very beautiful approach to this. Niingon siya nga, when we talk about marriage and the value of marriage, that has something to do with the fruitfulness that it is actually all about, but not only fruitfulness, but the faithfulness. We are also talking about those who are living single lives, those who are also so-called single blessed, no? The blessed singles among us. Because both marriage and single blessedness actually can learn from each other. While the single blessed ones learn to be fruitful from marriage, married people can also learn what it means to be faithful in the single blessed individuals. And we are constantly reciprocating what we call members of the community. But all in all, di gyud ikalalis, His love endures forever, and so we respond to Him with our own faithfulness to remain steadfast and true, loving Him and loving each other as one family of love. Amen.